Hi again then guys, and welcome to, of course, another speed tune setup, or speed build in other words, for Forza Horizon 4. And you're probably thinking, if you've been around on the channel before, why on earth is he doing the R33 before the R34 or the R32? Those are far more popular options. Doubtless the R34 is quicker after all, so what's the point? Well, that's the funny thing, because yes, I am going to cover the R34 and the R32, but they are both slower than the R33 by a significant margin. This is almost 20 miles per hour quicker than the R34 for top speed, and that's pretty crazy. And I'm getting kind of a flashback to Horizon 3 in the back of my mind. I think that might have actually been the case on there as well. Now, as far as the engine swap on this one, it's not for purists, of course. Most of my tunes aren't, it's just about making them as fast as they can be. So, in the case of this car, we've gone for the V8 conversion. It's fully tuned, over 1,000 horsepower. As far as the rest, of course, you guys know the drill for the most part. I've got, as you can see from the background, the racing tyres on it. If you go for drag tyres, of course, you'll be even quicker for acceleration. Your handling will be a little bit heavier, though. That might suit you, though, so it depends, it's down to you. As far as the rest, just fit everything that's racing. So brakes, suspension, transmission, widen the tyres, fit lightweight wheels if you want to. As you can see from the car, I've fitted the JUN body kit. Of course, that's down to you. You could go fully stock like a sleeper, you could fit the other ones, etc. I would not recommend fitting the race ones though, the race wings, etc., because you just don't need the downforce. As far as the gearbox, or the transmission in other words, we've got a final drive of 2.7. Then as far as the individual gears, I would recommend 2.9, 2, 1.51, 1.19, 0.97 and then 0.79. Then as far as the alignment, we've got neutral camber and tow as usual, especially with all-wheel drive. I've opted for the highest caster angle. That's down to you, you might want to mess around with that, see what works best for you. Anti-roll I've got on 35, front and rear. Springs on 125, 115 and the lowest ride height front and back. As far as the dampers, you could tighten them up a little bit more than I have if you want to. I've got 11 and 5 respectively. You could take it up to say 12 and 6 if you wanted to, or of course something completely different. Aero obviously doesn't apply. As far as the diff, it varies. Of course, being an all-wheel drive car anyway, many cars react differently to diff tuning, so as far as this one goes, it's a little bit more tail happy than you'd expect it to typically be. So again, it depends how you want to set up the diff. And of course the centre split in particular makes a huge difference to that. I've gone for 100% on acceleration, as you can see with 0 on decel, and a 70% split is usually more than enough to keep it in line, but it's still actually a surprisingly tail happy car. So you might want to even try it on 65, maybe even 60% if you find it to be too drift happy, or of course you could go higher if you want to have incredible top speed and great driftability, so of course that's down to you. Now, if you want to get the tune straight on your car, you can use my gamer tag of Corrupted Disc, or you can use the hashtag HSG to try and find it in the description or in the title, but they're relatively easy to find. So if you want to fit that one, of course you can. If you want to copy this and change stuff, that's of course the point of the video, but what you want to see is, can it actually hit that incredible top speed, which, as I said, is way faster than the roughly 250 miles per hour of the R34, and about, what, 30 to 40 miles per hour quicker than the R32, which is pretty crazy. You'd expect the R32 to be better than that, but it isn't, which is kind of a shock. So, let's see how fast it is. Now, as you'll see from this portion of the gameplay, across the board, this is just a strong car. It's one of the quickest JDM cars in the game, and it's pretty much faster than anything this side of a GTR, in fact, the R35 generation, because unlike the other Skylines, it's got a really strong top speed. The other two are okay, you know, around 235 for the R32, around 250 for the R34. It's not bad, but this one's in another league. This is hypercar rivaling in terms of top speed, and as you can see from the acceleration in the video, it doesn't take too long to get there either, which is again very good for a car which wasn't initially designed for that kind of top speed. So overall, if you decide to use this tune, hope you have a ton of fun with it, and click right here on screen to see all of my other Horizon 4 tunes. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.